Hi, my friends. It is that time of year. I'm super excited to share my plan stack up pile for 2026 with you. I know it's that time of year we're all looking at planners. All the releases are coming out. And I don't know about you, but I like to get mine done early because if I don't, I will obsess over it until it's done. So I just am about getting it set up and prepared so that fourth quarter I just flow into first quarter very easily. I'm kind of starting over with goals now. I'm going to have basically five quarters in 2026 to do my goals because I'm doing a goal reset now as we're moving into fourth quarter. So that being said, let's just start off with the basics. I have some books that a couple of things that will flow from 2025 into 2026. One of them is my reading journal, which I have been working on for several years in this. I do not read as fast as I once did, but I have just enough room that I believe I'll be able to fit 2026 in here. I usually set up a goals sheet, check it off as I go throughout the year. I definitely have room. I have some challenges that I've not finished that I can continue into 2026. So I'll just make a new 2026 goal sheet, and then I just, each page gets a book. So I think we're good. I think that this will last one more year. If not, then I'll just move over in the middle of it. I don't care. This has 2022. It'll be 2020. It'll have 4 years in it. Okay, so my next one is my daily journal. And I'm changing things up this year. I'm pretty excited about this one because the last few years I've done this kind of journal. I have just, I've got my month starts. I'll start back here. I finish off last month with a recap. This is a page that I created, and I just have about 20 of them printed, so I have plenty. I'll just cut it up, glue it in, and then I do a cover page, I guess, for my month. Do some like things that I'm looking forward to for the month on here, and I do these paper punches for the month, right? The thing is this year I started therapy, and I found I wrote less than a daily journal that way. But I did do some art journaling in it, and I like inserts and a page I colored that I really enjoyed for my birthday. I as you can see, I do a lot of different stuff, and then the month recap, the new month starts. I liked this. However, I stopped writing in it as much towards the end of the year. I did more kind of journal-y stuff because I started doing, and you can see I don't even have the tabs now on here and I do have one for September. Like I did do some September stuff, and I'll do October, but it just got to be less because I am doing through therapy, morning pages where you just literally scribble stuff down and for 10-15 minutes, and there's no decorating. There's no, half the words are spelt wrong. I mean, it's ugly, and it's in a crappy notebook that I don't care about. It's not precious to me. So I just literally brain dump in this. What I found doing this, I don't journal as much because most of it I've gotten out here. So, but I do some stuff, right? So what I've decided to do this year, because I will be carrying this over into 2026, and it'll just be, like you can see, I just started a new notebook. I'll just start another crappy notebook after it. This is not memory keeping. This is literally to never be read again. However, this is more memory keeping, art journaling stuff. I have birth and wedding announcements in here. I have all kinds of stuff tabbed in. So I will continue to do that, but I'm going to do it in this venue this year. This is a Field Notes magazine from Bella Grace, and I did a haul in another video that you can see. I got a bunch of their magazines, and I really love this magazine because there is so much space to write. Blank pages, tons of them, prompts. The pages are beautiful. The paper is really thick, every bit as thick as this. Well, maybe a little less. There's really just some basic stuff here. I'm going to use this. I'm going to cover this up. I'm going to junk journal in this for 2026. I'm going to add the year, cover this parts up, and make this into this. I'm not going to have the tabs. It's going to be free form. It's not going to be something I have to hit every day. It's going to be when the feeling and I'm inspired. And I'm going to use some of the stuff that's here, get creative. I'm going to glue a lot. I'm going to add a lot. I'm going to cover a lot of stuff up and just have fun with it. And this is what we're going to do in place of this. It's going to be my art journal memory keeping for 2026. And we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's different. I've done this for so many years. I'm bored with it, I think, too. And since I'm getting my thoughts out in the brain dump, I thought I'd try something new. We'll see how it goes. It may go well. It may go horribly awry. I'll let you know. And I'll definitely show some of this as I'm doing it to kind of give, because just taking a magazine, now this is a magazine on steroids, right? It's upper level magazine, but taking a magazine and turning it into a memory keeping book, I mean, that sounds like fun. It sounds like a challenge. Sounds like a lot of glue and scissors are going to be needed, and that's right up my alley. So there's that. So let's move on to my daily. This is my daily I want to share. I'll do August. So this is my, I haven't highlighted that, but this is my appointment calendar, okay? And so I do a little bit of decorating, not a lot. I do, mostly it's just appointments. I had the idea, I went bigger this year because I'm sole caretaker of my mom, and I thought I would like sections for her and me, but it really doesn't, her life has become my life, so having it like in sections doesn't really help me. So I wanted to get less complicated. This book is so big that I decided in prior years I've done a smaller book. This is a Bloom planner book with goal keeping, you know, goal planning and stuff in the front and all this stuff. I went back to what I've done in the past, which is just your basic planner. Horizontal instead of vertical. And what I've done, what I did last year was I just had my mom's stuff over here and my stuff over here. And that worked better actually than trying to have, I just thought I'd be more organized, and this just didn't really do it. And I didn't get the goal planning stuff done that I wanted to either. It wasn't the planner. The planner's great. Love the planner. This is hardcover. This is softcover. I did find this didn't fit as my purse as well as this did. So like when I was at the doctor's appointment, I'd have to carry this instead of having it in my purse. Years before, I had this in a little leather cover, and that's worked. So I'm going back to what worked in the past. And I think it's important when you're checking your planners to pivot and like make sure that what you try works for you. I tried bigger didn't work. So I'm going back to smaller. And one of the things I did change though for goal setting is for the first time. Okay, I'm going to put that over here. I'm going to set this over here. For the first time ever, I did Investisure because this planner was like $15 on sale. Okay, it's a Love Bloom planner. I've used it for years. It's great quality. One thing I will say, there's some planning pages in the front. A lot of times I'll cover it and create my, dashboard and that sort of thing. There's some monthly bill tracker, monthly spending summary. There's some useful pages, and then there's a bunch of blank pages in the front. I didn't have that in the goal planner one. the bigger version, also by Bloom Planner. Very nice. I didn't have that in there, and I missed those pages. So I went back to what worked. I've been using the other one. I used it in 2024 and 2023. I tried moving away from it twice, and I always go back to that same planner. So it works. What I am doing different this year is I invested in Cultivate What Matters PowerSheets. I've never done these before, but really had to think about what matters to me now because my goals have shifted this year. As I said, I'm still caretaker of my mother. I'm, in my 50s. Things have slowed down a little bit. My side hustles, my interests, and things I want to accomplish other than just work in my life have changed. And so I really needed to figure out what matters to me. And so I've watched these PowerSheets for years. I've never bought them. It's a little bit of an investment. I think this was $60, whatever. But I've also bought that much, 60 to 70, $80, depending on the different planners you buy. You can spend that much on any planner. This doesn't have your week to week and day to day. That's why I needed this, just for the appointment setting and the, to-do list, whatever. But this has the big thing, the big overreaching goal planning. And I love this because there's a process to it. And like I said, I've been watching it. Amanda's Favorites. I love her YouTube channel. Been watching that. And this really helps you do a deep dive into your why, your how, literally Cultivate What Matters says it all. It really helps you identify what matters right now. I've always done like a goal setting process, and you can see those in my past videos, but not just the question, what matters, what do you think you want to do, that sort of thing, but this really has you like do a deep dive into what went wrong, why it went wrong, what was good, what was challenging, what I was grateful for, what lessons I learned. And then it builds on those concepts in a way that really helps you cultivate your mindset, and really changing, like identifying why I identified that a lot of my goals shifted, and the goals that I think I want, that ideal me, I had to let go of and look at reality and what is really the true me, and the goals that are not my idealistic goals, but goals that I really want to accomplish. And I've been able to do that in the past. But the last year or two, my what matters to me has shifted so much. I identify it anymore. And I think that's part of what has led to me not getting any goals done this year, is I didn't have the fight in me because what I thought were my goals really weren't anymore. So anyways, I'm doing this process and I am loving it. And it is different than other ones. Like I said, I've done other ones. So if you've never done the PowerSheets, or if you have, put it in the comments and talk to me about it. I am just loving this process, and it is definitely worth the investment. I will not do this every year because the questions are here, and I can really follow this process next year just in a notebook and kind of cruise. I don't think that I need to do this deep of a dive every year. But right now, because I'm in a not crossroads, that sounds so dramatic. I'm just in a different season of life. And you know what? They even talk about seasons of life. I am in a new season of life, and I was having a hard time identifying what that looks like now. And so this really helped me identify it. And then when you go into your month, you have your monthly reset. You have your month, which is dated, and you can use anything you want to in here. Maybe gratitude, maybe workout, whatever, working towards one of your goals kind of thing. But it really allows you to see your goal on the calendar and what you need to do. Then they have a tending list, which I haven't gotten that far into it, but the tending list I would pull then into my daily to-dos here, which I will look at this every day in front of me on my desk. This I'll look at every month as I'm planning the month ahead. It talks about routines. There's a tending list. There's breaking down the goals and what you want to do each quarter. There's so much, but this is not going to be your appointment book. I'm working through this. I'm not quite finished setting up my goals, but I have identified what they are. And it's different. It is different than if I hadn't had this and I would have just continued with what I was doing last year. The goals are different. So I really appreciated that process and working through it and identifying what matters to me now, so I can cultivate it. Haha, see what I did there? Anyways, I'm also going to bring back, this is a notebook that I have used in the past to just track like my husband's health, my mom's health, my business goals. So what I did is I have a section for each of the main, house, like what I want to build in the house. Instead of having like it on little notes everywhere, I kept it all in one notebook in the past, and that worked. I didn't do that last year or this year, and I am going back to it because I literally can, when I'm talking to the doctor, I can open it. There are notes from my last conversation, and there are to-dos that I can pull into my daily to-dos, and then there are, I have all the contact information I need. If there's something going on, it gets a page until it's resolved. So I can go to that page in that section and easily find my next step, who I need to talk to, who I talked to last. And this really worked. I'm going back to that. It's basically just an ongoing to-do list separated by category, because I don't want the to-dos for myself mixed in with the to-dos for my mom, because when I'm on the phone talking to somebody about her, I have to flip through a bunch of stuff to find it. This is just a book of to-do lists, basically. And I am going back to that this year because I missed it the last 2 years. Wellness planner. Getting to the bottom. Wellness planner. This is where I have all my meal plans. You can see here. I also was creating a tip-in sheet. Do I have one? That one's not filled out. Do I have? Oh, I threw them away. Oh, that's right. I was creating a tip-in sheet to kind of track weather, mood, sleep routine. I have issues sleeping, pain tracker, symptom tracker, that sort of thing. And I was making a new one every week. Like, this is just a scrap piece of paper. I used a stencil to create these. So the problem I have with it is, it took half the time I didn't create it. And, it just didn't really, I made it different each time, and it just really wasn't working. And about it, and I take care of it. And, but I like to keep track of what is contributing to symptoms, what exasperates my symptoms, what keeps them under control, that sort of thing. So I got a wellness planner this year that has all of it built in. Hours slept, how I'm feeling, habits for self-care, symptom tracking, victories. This says notes, journaling. You could put like gratitude for the week here. You could do all kinds of stuff. It's not enough room. This is 1 week, and then there's notes, right? This is January, so go to February. I can do my meal planning here like I did. Then here's the first 2 weeks. It's a short week. This comes undated. I added the dates, but it's really short. And then there's a note page at the end of it. And then you can do your month in review and your planning for the next month. Your wellness glow, triggers, setbacks, helpers, reflections, takeaways, overall how you did, that sort of thing related to your health. I wanted to be able to track my symptoms, my pain, my eye pain and stuff. So this is helpful information to have when I'm talking to my neurologist and stuff like that. And my neuro-ophthalmologist, I don't know. I see a couple different doctors. Having all the information in one place is going to be helpful. I'm also going to still do my meal planning here. Still do my sleep tracking. It does have a place for hydration. But I will visit this probably once a day. I won't have it on my desk open, so I'll probably still do my hydration as I have in the past in this book, just because this is the one that's on my desk with my to-dos and everything else. I usually put a hydration sticker right here. I mean, I pretty much have this system down, but I will, it's even got a place like if I took my medicine or not, which I do every day. That's never an issue. But I liked the idea of using this. What I am going to do is take this sheet that I showed you in my journal recap, and I am going to add it here. And this is a monthly reflection. How's my motivation, curiosity, focus, time management, creativity, gratitude. Like, I feel like mental strength, nutrition, rest, spirit, kindness. I made a chart, and I do like the cup is half full or 75% full or whatever. How full is my cup this month? And then track like what I could work on. I could actually just glue that in the here in the monthly recap, or I can use their monthly recap. I could add this on a page so it was inside like this. There's a lot of things I can do, but I will still use this. I'm just going to use it in my wellness book instead of my journal, because like I said, I'm going to use this as a junk journal. Oh, see, oh my gosh. I got dirt on this already and I haven't even used it yet. But I think that that's going to be a better, I mean, it's just going to be easier than this. And lastly, I know you're excited. It's coming to an end. I'm almost done, guys. Lastly, I'm trying something new. Obviously, I'm trying several things new. I'm going back to some old things that really worked. The Cultivate What Matters is new. The field guide notes, the field notes, instead of a daily journal, is new. This is also new. I am super excited about this though, because I do my bills. Now I have to get like really, like, this is how I've done my bills for years. I list them, you know, what I owe, what it's paid, yada, yada, and I, you know, check them off when they're paid for the monthly kind of thing, including my subscriptions and everything. Then I have to have a calendar view because I plan my paydays, so I know which, you know, the bills are due in a certain order. I know when I'm paying which payday each bill's coming out of anyway. So I'm very visual like that. One of my goals this year is to pay off some debt. We go back. So this year I'm working, I've used this in the past, but one of my goals this year is to pay off some debt so this year I'm really focusing on that. And this is just a calendar and a spreadsheet. It's not a plan to pay off debt, right? So I decided that's one of my goals this year. And I got an actual budget planner, which I have never used before. I do like this because it came with, and this is also, oh, this is Go Girl. Never used their brand, but it's really nice. And it feels a lot like the Bloom Planner. These pages are nice and thick. It came with instructions. And I haven't set this up yet because it's, you know, this will start January 1st. You can start at any time, but I'm going to start it in January. It's got a pocket for you to slide your bills into, which is nice. It's got a budget review. It has your expense trackers, but it also has your, and there's several pages of that. There's the monthly budget. You know, you can see them. It's not going to be side by side for me, but I think I can make this work with the monthly budget and the calendar. It's got monthly goals, to-do list, upcoming bills and expenses, income, savings. It's got a lot of things. A monthly budget, which has it broken down into sections: home, food, healthcare, credit and loans, personal, transportation, entertainment, other, and then it's got totals for the month. So I felt like, and then this has budgeted, actual, and the difference. So you can kind of adjust your budget for next month. And then you've got your review with your spending analysis and things like that you can do. I wanted a more comprehensive way to attack the debt. And I felt like I needed something like this. That other was just literally a list of my bills that I had to pay. I didn't track any expenses or anything like that. I think tracking expenses is going to be key to cutting back on expenses to pay the, reallocating the money. But I can't do that if I haven't identified what I'm spending money on and such. So this is going to be a new experience, a learning process. And maybe I'll include you guys on the journey. I don't know if you guys are interested in that, as I learn how to do a full budget planner and not just focused on what has to be paid and let the rest just go. That's my goal for this year. So, okay, this is a lot. It's been a lot. I appreciate your time. I hope that this has been of value to somebody. I think that doing things differently can be exciting. This is different, this is different, this is different. I think that changing things is fun. It keeps me interested. But I also think that sometimes the basics, going back to what has worked in the past, is also fun and exciting, where I'm doing that with this and I'm doing that with this. I think when you're doing your planner stack for the year ahead, there's room for growth. There's room for relying on what worked, and both can be valuable. So I hope this has been fun, and have a lovely week. Thank you.